All right, this is a video for 3.3, starting on problem 13. All right, so it says, determine the vertex. All right, with the vertex, we want the x-intercepts, and we want the y-intercept. All right, for number 13. All right, number 13 is 2 times x plus 3 squared minus 4. All right, the vertex is the HK, but remember, the format is x minus h squared plus k. All right, so that minus is not part of the h value, and neither is the plus. So in here, it's got to be x minus a negative 3 for that to be positive, squared. Then it's got to be plus the negative 4 has to be the k value. So the vertex is negative 3, negative 4. All right, the x-intercepts. The x-intercepts is the value of h plus and minus the square root of the opposite of k over a. All right, I'll write over here. It's h plus minus, I don't know if you can see that, plus minus square root opposite of k over a. All right, so remember, x, when it crosses the x-axis, our x-intercepts, y is 0. When it crosses the y-axis, our y-intercepts, x is 0. All right, so we have our h and our k. So it's negative 3. Maybe I should have written my y-intercept down lower. Let me write y-intercept down lower. All right, negative 3. We'll do the plus first. The square root, the opposite of k over the value of a, which is 2. So one of them is negative 3 plus square root of 2. You leave it like that. Our y coordinate is 0. So writing them as a coordinate point would look like that. The other one is just minus. So it's negative 3 minus square root of 2, 0. Our y-intercept is when x equals 0. So in this equation, I'm plugging in 0 for x, and I'm just solving for y. So that's 2 times 3 squared minus 4. That's 2 times 9 minus 4. That's 18 minus 4. 18 minus 4 is 14. So the coordinate point for the y-intercept would be 0, 14. That's 13. I thought I'd leave these on the board so that we can see all of them together. 15 is the same format. It's x plus 1 squared plus 4. So both of these are in transformation or vertex form. All right, so in order for this to be minus, it's got to be x minus a negative 1 for that to be positive, and then plus 4. So my h is a negative 1, my k is a 4. I do the same thing. It's the h value plus and minus the square root of the opposite of 4 all over 1. But that's negative 1 plus the square root of negative 4. No x-intercepts because that is an imaginary number. Okay? All right. Y-intercept is when x equals 0. So we have 0 plus 1 squared plus 4. That's 1 squared plus 4, which is 5. So my y-intercept is at 0, 5. All right, that was number 15. Number 17 is in polynomial form. All right, so it's negative x squared plus 8x minus 2. Our vertex, I am going to erase this. Our vertex, guys, is the opposite of b over 2a. And then you plug that in and you solve for the y value. But I want us to look at this. Look at the quadratic formula. The opposite of b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Look at that. It's just this part of the quadratic formula, all right? So the vertex, the opposite of b, which is -8 over 2 times -1, it's -2. So my x value is +4 for my vertex. My y value is just going to be whatever the result is when I plug in 4 to this equation. +4. So it's the opposite of 4 squared plus 8 times 4 minus 2. I do have a calculator. I was just thinking I might not have brought a calculator over here, but I did. All right, so that's -16 plus 32 minus 2. Well, -16 plus 32 is 16 minus 2, which is 14, right? 14. All right, so that is my vertex. My x-intercept is when I plug this in to the quadratic formula, all right? So it's the opposite of b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. So it's -8 plus minus the square root of 64 minus 8 all over -2. 64 minus 8, I believe, is 56. But the square root of 56, there's no perfect square root of 56. No. All right, so this is -8 plus the square root of 56 over -2. And I can really just change all the signs, right? 56, though, I believe is 4. What is 56 divided by 4? It feels like I can simplify that. 56 divided by 4 is 14. 4 times 14, so I can unsquare that too. All right, so let's do that. -8 plus 2 square root of 14 over -2. I'm gonna change all the signs before I simplify, okay? And then it's just plus and minus, right? All right, so it's gonna be 8 minus 2 square root of 14 over 2. Now I'm gonna take a 2 out of every term. So that equals what? 4 minus 2 square root of 14. So it's plus minus there, all right? So it's when my x-intercept is 4 minus 2 square root of 14 when y is 0, and 4 plus 2 square root of 14 when y is 0. My -2 is my y-intercept. It's always your c value. All right, number 25. Number 25 says, write this function in polynomial form. You're just going to multiply it out. Number 25 is currently in transformation form. So you're just going to multiply it all out. All right, so this is 25. It's -1/2 times x plus 4 squared minus 5. Just go multiply it out and distribute. First, I'm going to square x plus 4. So that's x plus 4 times x plus 4, which is x squared plus 8x plus 16 minus 5. Now distribute the -1/2. -1/2 x squared minus 4x minus 8. I distributed the 1/2 minus 5. I'll combine my constants. -1/2 x squared minus 4x minus 13. So you're just multiplying it out. That's all we do. All right, it's 25, 41. if the y-intercept of this function, all right, let me write it down. When it intercepts the y-axis, remember the value of x is 0, okay? So we have this function, f of x is a times x minus 3 times x plus 2. It says the y-intercept is 3, so 0, 3 is a point. Solve for a. I have an x and a y value. I don't know if that helps any, guys, but I have an x and a y value. I'm going to plug it in. Say 3 equals a times 0 minus 3, 0 plus 2, and just solve for the value of a. 3 equals a times negative 3 times 2, that's negative 6. I'm going to divide by negative 6 on both sides. Negative 6 fall. It's negative 1/2 is the value of a. All right, so it's using what you've learned, applying it to a different problem.